Well, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to week 10 of content. Hope you had a great spring break. This week we're going to shift gears. We've talked a lot about hotels, food and beverage, and now we're going to shift gears and talk about tourism. So in this module, we're going to look at the historical impact of transportation on tourism, and then how the economic impact of tourism really shapes the tourism industry. And so to think about this, I gave you the assignment of thinking about going to LA for spring break. And from the homework assignments I've seen turned in so far, no one used a travel agent. And I wanted to point out kind of the technological advances that we have now with being able to look up different factors of information. That wasn't always the case. And we used to have whole sectors of our industry around travel advisors and tour operators that would function in this space. And so I wanted to point that out, as well as thinking about every website that you used to be able to look up planes, trains, automobiles, buses, and all of those other ways, cruise actually also, that you thought of to be able to get to LA. And every single one of those websites that you use does need hospitality professionals to be able to operate them. So thinking about career opportunities, I wanted to point that out. Additionally, we think a lot and first jump to planes. A couple of people looked at buses as being an economical route, train as well. Every single one of these modes of transportation was developed, in the last, say, 100, 200 years. So I wonder what the next thing will be. I wanted to point out the cruise ships because there's actually a website that I found that has the top new cruise ships. Cruises took a little bit of a bad rap during the pandemic, right? We had that one off the coast of San Francisco that was kind of stranded. But cruise ships and the cruising industry is making a comeback. I wanted to point out that most of the shipyards are not from the United States. And this is particularly interesting because they would have to follow U.S. maritime laws, and that would allow for no gambling. So oftentimes you see these cruise ships being built or operated out of foreign entities so that they can follow those particular laws. So I'm just scrolling through so that you can see a couple of those different examples. Another thing to point out, actually this one is Chesapeake from the United States. Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection, so more of the luxury tier of cruising as well. So these all started with their inaugural cruises planned for 2024, and so that's why I wanted to point that out as it being something that's relatively new. Another thing I wanted to point out is UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, which aims to promote world peace and security through international cooperation in education, arts, science, and culture. And what I found to be interesting is this UNESCO World Heritage Convention map. And I've zoomed in on the United States. And particularly if you wanted to see the California sites, we have the Redwood National and State Park. And we also have, you guessed it, Yosemite, as being a couple of those on the list for the World Heritage Convention. So I thought that was interesting to point out as well. So when you get to the instructional content, there is a PowerPoint that's there that kind of walks you through the information about the different modes of transportation. And also I've included some videos on sustainable tourism. And then important to note, kind of California Convention and Visitors Bureau, how it works. The United States does not have a governmental ministry as other countries do to be able to promote tourism. So I wanted you to see how tourism is promoted, both for the California level, as well as the SF travel, which I'm going to play you next. And here you go, for it all starts here, San Francisco, to see how San Francisco and our Convention and Visitors Bureau is called SF Travel, tries to promote San Francisco as a destination.
San Francisco. You've been through a lot. quake.
The strong earthquake rocked the San Francisco Bay Area just moments ago.
6.9 is what we're hearing.
The fight for justice and equality.
Both Mayor Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk have been shot and killed.
And the AIDS epidemic. But the city by the bay always perseveres. Through grit. Through innovation. Through hope. Through unity. Through culture. Through joy. And now, new challenges, but we won't be defined by them. We remain resolutely here.
Here.
Here. It all starts here.
So pretty cool video. I liked to show it so that you can see what the city of San Francisco is doing, because it does get a lot of negative publicity and certainly far more than we could put out to positively impact the perception of tourism. So I hope you enjoy and think about this week's content with a different lens of how important the hospitality industry is and the tourism industry is, both to the economy as well as to everyone's career opportunities here in the Bay Area. So I hope you have a great week ahead. Thank you.